Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to Eclipse reading as I promised on my message of the day. So I just wanted to briefly give you an astrological update and then I'm going to do sign-wise tarot reading for each sign. First of all, the eclipse is already over today in the afternoon Finnish time and I'm recording it in the evening because again I'm not very good with timings. Most of my followers know that, but luckily eclipse energy lasts for 6 months till next eclipse, so it might be still a good idea to record these videos and upload them because it will guide you for next 6 months. So this eclipse is a special one because it's happening after 580 years. This is eclipse where the eclipse lasts for very long because the distance between Earth and Moon is way too much. Because of that, the eclipse time lasts for very long, and that's why it brings different kind of changes in different people's life. Anyhow, eclipse is a very and this one is a full eclipse also. So I've just noted the position of few prominent planets that are playing an important role. Of course, Sun, Moon, Rahu and Ketu, they play a very important role in any eclipse. But then in today's eclipse, we have Venus, Jupiter and Saturn also making some kind of contribution based on what I have observed. I know there are different astrologers who would differ from me, but this is my interpretation. So when I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking more about a generic view of how humans on a global level and institutions on global level would be acting and reacting because of this eclipse energy. So first of all, it's a test for humans, like each individual like you and me. How perfect are we in controlling our senses? And how much are we running after our sensual pleasures? And it could be anything. Don't judge yourself, don't judge anyone for that matter. And I don't expect you to just leave all your sensual pleasures for next 6 months. I just want you to be aware of your sensual pleasures because no one can stop them, and it's stupid to stop them because it will mess up with your brain. But then it says that you should be aware when to stop getting into sensual pleasure and when to continue with your sensual pleasure. If you are aware of that, it's good. It's a kind of test of that. So those who are able to stop their sensual pleasures at the right time, like do not overindulge into them, Rahu is actually going to give them a lot of blessings to move forward in life, and that's where a lot of blessings are going to come in for individuals on a global level. And I'm seeing that people would lose trust on institutions and follow their own patterns. They will understand how their body is acting and reacting to various things, and they will start following their own pattern rather than trusting institutions like medical institutions and all those things who are putting you under a lot of medications, unnecessary things, just to keep the money flowing. And you would actually deal with that in a long run, and you'll see that governments would find themselves a bit of struggling. Intergovernmental relations, like one country's relationship with another, it's already being observed, and it's going to be even more stressful in next 6 months. So that won't be a surprise. And only thing that I'm scared about is that there could be a severe Cold War kind of situation or even a war kind of situation, but I don't see the actual war happening in next 6 months. But people would be speculating worse during this time. And on the other hand, Ketu is constantly reminding of the past, like the past of First World War and Second World War and asking you to control your senses, because anger is also a form of sensual expression, and that's where government officials and the politicians need to control. So the Ketu is constantly reminding that don't indulge into the stupid sensual behavior. And I don't know from where I've learned this word stupid. I've been using that for last few weeks a lot. I've noticed that. So if it's annoying, I'm sorry. I somehow feel little annoyed because I don't like to use such words, but I've picked it up from somewhere and I still can't figure out the source of that. But anyhow, coming back to Ketu, what Ketu is doing is trying to remind you of the past, that past was horrible. Don't repeat that horror again. And that's where you have to be careful. Venus, on the other hand, is bringing very good harmony for relationships. If you are into relationships, suddenly you will recognize your partner as very charming, very caring, and you could see all the positive aspects. It's not that they don't have negative aspects, but the positive aspects would be larger than life, and you would be attracted towards that, and that will end up resolving a lot of problems. If you had some kind of stress in your relationship, you will see that you and your partner are now suddenly seeing each other's positive sides, and you are getting closer and closer. And by the time the eclipse energy ends after 6 months, you will realize that the negative things are very minor things and they don't even matter. So that's a very good blessing on individual relationships, but on a governmental level, relationships are bad. Moving on to Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn had a very tricky role in last 2 years, and with the corona and all those stuff, they were quite influencer in the sky. And many astrologers have spoken about that, so I won't get into what they have been doing in the sky, how they're influencing us, but what I'm going to talk about is what they're going to do in future. On one hand, Saturn now is trying to move the consciousness beyond this time and space where there's a lot of suffering and there's a lot of pain, and giving hopes to people to see things beyond here. So a lot of extraterrestrial things may happen on a larger level, which you and I may not notice very well, but there would be a larger energy shift on a global level where common people would be trying to move away from this crisis, and they would try to forget and resolve things and move on with their lives. But then always Saturn and Sun are in always a tight rift. So Sun represents governments and Saturn represents common people. Common people want to move on, but the governments is so rigid in their ego right now. That would be a problem, and that's where the tension would arrive, that the governments would find themselves alone. They would not find the support of their people. Governments would be like, and to create a crisis, you might see some governments doing some stupid things. Again, I'm using stupid, yeah. Some crazy things to get attention from their people, and that's where they would indulge into tough fights with neighboring countries so that they get some attention, that they and they divert the attention, that they have neglected a lot many things within the country, but now there's a time of crisis where they have to deal with another country, but everything would be created because of ego. On the other hand, Jupiter is trying to set up an whole new pattern. Jupiter is going to change signs day after tomorrow. It would move into Aquarius. It's already in Aquarius from tropical zodiac, but in sidereal zodiac, it's going to move in Aquarius, and where it will start bringing a new conversation. Let's create a new world where we don't need a lot of stress, where we don't need a lot of pressure, and that's where Saturn and Jupiter would change the equation and try to bring a new way of thinking where people are a little more comfortable about sharing things with each other and helping each other little more. Like if you see pre COVID situation, people were very independent. At least in bigger cities, you would see that nobody would know their neighbors. Nobody would stop for a minute to help someone on the sideway path or on the subways. People would be running after God knows what. They were crazy. They were always late for something. But suddenly now you would see a bigger shift that people don't want to live that kind of life. They don't want to be part of this rat race. So that's the astrological update for next 6 months based on what I'm observing from the present eclipse chart. And in future, if there would be something else, I would be very happy to update about that. And also, if you are listening to this line, it's a test if you have survived till here. Do you want science specific, detailed tarot or astrological or both reading for Jupiter moving to Aquarius? If you want that, please leave a comment. And if I get few comments, then I would definitely do that, but do those readings. But it would be little time from now, a week from now. It's actually moving on 21st of November, but I'll post them before the month end, because that transit lasts for 1 year, so it's worth it. If you are really interested in that, then it will guide you for next 1 year. Thank you so much for watching this video, and now you will have the tarot reading after this part. Thank you. Bye bye. Namaste. Hello everyone, this is for the sign of Aries, and Aries, we have already cards jumping out. Okay, so this is the order that I'm inspired to look at. Something is ending in your life to begin something fresh, something new, something which is very exciting for you, something where you are feeling little more passionate, and you always wanted this, because Ace of Wands are the passions that you always wanted to pursue, and new beginnings of such passions. So something is ending in your life, creating a space where you can explore this passion. And mind you, this is the eclipse energy, so the manifestation is not going to happen instantly. It's going to happen over a 6 months period of time. A secret emotion that you always had, you are ready to open it up right now. Wow, two queens coming next to each other. So these emotions which are very secretive, very, like, you might not be comfortable about sharing these emotions with anyone. Now you are ready to open up those emotions and share it with a particular someone, a particular group or something, to fulfill your ambitions, fulfill your passions, which is very exciting, very promising in a way. And the luck is favoring you to do that. The star card is like the luck, or this planetary alignments along with this eclipse. All the other planets, the way they are placed in the sky, are quite great. And the whole anchor somewhere here is very Venus kind of energy, what I feel in this thing. So you are feeling little more loved, little more cared, and you are also feeling little more ambitious, because Venus is somewhere about fulfilling your ambitions in a practical way, and also feeling that love. And it's happening in Purva Ashada Nakshatra, so that is also very important. You want to move away from something to, you realize that wherever you are in your life right now, that is not a cordial place for you. That is not the place where you want to live. That is not the place where you want to function. figuratively, physically, whatever it is, but you want to move away from there to fulfill your passions, and the universe is arranging that for you. That is great. And then new passions are opening up for you, new communication channels are opening up for you, a lot of cup energy for you. Change in this is wonderful. I somehow am enjoying your reading. I'm just pulling out the cards, and then I will summarize it for you because it's so exciting. I just want to keep continuing to pull the cards. So okay, I'm going to stop here and explain. So you are moving away from your current situation to manifest something which is very exciting. You will be able to communicate your thoughts with others who are very important for you to manifest this new passion very easily. Communication is very easy right now, and the times are changing. You are going to establish yourself in a new way, and you would be grounded, a new family kind of setup. Again, if it is in a professional setup, you would be celebrating this in a very beautiful way, that your professional setup would be your family in a very long term. If you are deciding to start a family life with someone, you would be able to do that in the next 6 months, and this would be a long lasting situation. So that is great. And then we have King of Pentacles, which is like you are very grounded in your new passion, and you really would manifest everything, and you would succeed with flying colors. Again, 6 of Swords and 8 of Cups coming together next to each other in this sequence. I'm feeling that moving away from your past would be very easy, in a way that you would feel very comfortable. You will not feel a sense of guilt. You will not feel that sense of attraction from the past. Or it usually happens that when you are somewhere moving forward, there is a pull from your past that you cannot leave this misery. You have to stay here in this miserable place. But for you, it is convenient. You can just move away. Wonderful. And then you are going to start a new family which you want to, or new setup or new project, whatever it is. You want to stay in that bondage, in that new situation, and you would hold on to. It's very easy to give this example to explain you, but try to translate it in your context, because I'm trying to put it in terms of relationship. You decided to, your passion was to get married with a certain someone, certain individual, and you like this person so much that you keep your past behind, because the past is painful, and you leave that past where it belongs and follow your heart and decide to marry this person. And with this person, you have such a beautiful life together in long term that you want to hold on to this happiness for any cost for all your life. That's what it's looking like here. And now, I know this is a general reading. It cannot be love for everyone. Please translate it into that context that is appropriate for you. So that's your reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, bye-bye and namaste.